Hi, this is Tuesday Dawkins from Tarnished and Tattered. We have a new project that we are going to be doing today, and that is a pallet sign. I'm going to show you the different stages that you would go through to make those all two popular signs that we see everywhere now. They're all over Pinterest, they're all over our news feeds on Facebook, and we see them in our friends' homes, and we have them in our own homes. But if you would like to give it a try by yourself, I'm going to show you how to do it, and it is actually quite simple and a lot of fun. First of all, right here in front of me I have some pallets. You can find those usually at businesses that they're just getting rid of. If you ask around and ask enough questions, you can find some and get them probably free. So you can, there's different types of pallets, so you just look for what you want, and you can basically use any kind. You just will cut them down to the size you want. So I have already pre-cut some slats from one of these type of pallets, and I just cut it in half, which made each slat about 18 inches. Now these have some nails, so I always take the side that has the rusted part of the nail and use that as my front. So while we're putting this together, we're going to turn that over so our front is against the table. And you will just do this like a puzzle, because they warp, they have gaps and different things like that. So you're going to make sure that they fit together the best they can. But if they have gaps, that's okay, because it's a pallet sign and it's not going to be perfect. It's supposed to be rustic. So as I've got mine put together and the edges, and sometimes I like to use different size slats also to give it a more rustic look, or you can even take these and off-center them so that they're set up kind of like this. But we're going to do this one today, we're going to do them even. And pre-cut, I also have the smaller slats that this happened to be one of the slats. You can see as in this pallet right here, it has one of the small pieces. If not, you can use the wider boards. You just got to make sure that they're short enough to not show, and you can cut that whatever size you need it. We're going to just place them on the back, and then you will take your screws and you'll start at the top and each time you'll push it together to make sure it's as tight as possible. Pallet sign was one of the first things that I started with when I actually started refurbishing, repurposing, crafting, and I really enjoyed it. The hardest part of making a pallet sign is figuring out what you're going to put on it. What verse, saying, because there's so many different popular sayings or scripture verses that I like that it's hard to pick one. Whoop. Be careful when you're using tools. Sometimes they have a mind of their own. Okay, first step, you've got it all screwed together. Now we are going to sand it down, get the edges off of it, the dirt off of it, and make it to where it's actually a safe project so you don't get splinters. And for time's sake, we are not going to sand that all the way as smooth as I would like to. But I'm going to go ahead. With this particular palette, I'm going to paint it. So you would determine which color you want to paint. And today we're using a light gray. Today on this particular palette, I'm going to paint it so that I can put a vinyl scripture on it. But if you wanted to, you could stain it and use a stencil to put a verse or a saying on it. So there's different ways to do it. It's not all the same. Again, the more you do these projects, the more creative you get. So we're just gonna blob this stuff on there because we're actually gonna sand some of it off. So if you get too much one place and not enough another, it's really not a big deal. Some people freak out because it's not perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be fun. So that's what we're gonna do, is have fun with this. The one thing you do want to make sure is that you check inside the grooves, and if you're staining it or painting it, that you do get it on inside of those little grooves. At Christmas time, I did several of these in a dark burgundy and put Christmas sayings on them. Halloween, I did a really cute one that I actually put 3 different colors of paint on. I put a deep forest green as my base color. After that dried, I topped it with a burnt orange, and then after that was dry, a black, and then distressed it. And you had 3 different colors showing through. And then I painted a big boo on it with a spider, and it turned out really, really cute. Okay, so this one is painted, and we will let this dry, and then I'll show you how to distress it. All right, so now our palette is dry, and so we're going to distress it to give it just a little bit more of a rustic vintage look. So we just take off some of the edges and a little bit of the top coat, but not all of it. All right, now that gives us just a little bit smoother surface to put our vinyl. So now ahead of time, I cut out on my Silhouette, which is a vinyl cutter that you can just use with your computer, and it will print out and cut out whatever it is that you are wanting to put on your pallet signs, on your windows. Again, limitless opportunities and possibilities. So it's pre-cut, and I pre-weeded most of it so it wouldn't take so much time. So I'm going to peel off the top, and the paper backing will come off. Need to determine top from bottom which one I like the best, and that is totally up to you. Make sure the dust is off. And then place that vinyl where you want it. Now sometimes with the slats, you'll have to monitor your letters, so you'll want to make sure that you know how tall your slats are when you are sizing your vinyl saying, so that you don't end up with a letter that's way too big and then you have this gap. So let me get my tools. This is my one that smooths out all the air bubbles and really helps it to adhere to the board. And carefully pulling back the clear. I just love seeing a project come together. It is so satisfying. I hope this really inspires some of you to want to give this a try, because it really is a lot of fun. As long as you don't take it too seriously. Because if you mess up, hey, you can always sand it off and start over. On pallets, you can hang them. Or you can even, just like lean them up against things so that they can sit like on a mantle, on a shelf, depending the size you choose. These are great gifts for my son. When he got married, I made one of these that said the name established on the date that they got married, and they have that up in their house. So that was a nice special gift. So you can make wedding gifts, baby gifts. And of course, make sure you find time to make stuff for yourself. Makes you feel good knowing that you are reusing things that was just gonna be trash. Someone was throwing away. And you're making something beautiful, useful, a gift, and it'll be around for a long time. Saving the environment. Don't get discouraged the first time you do it. It doesn't go as smooth as you want. I remember the first 1, 2, 3, who knows how many I made that I got frustrated with before I started really getting relaxed with it. Just always be really careful when you're peeling off that clear part, because you don't want to rip some of your saying off. You can spend a lot of time measuring and making sure you're getting everything just so, but I have to tell you, you really don't need to worry about that, because every single piece is going to be unique and one of a kind. So just make it the way you like it. Don't worry about everything being perfect. That's what makes us unique. Each one of us is different, and we are not perfect. This is not an original saying that that I came up with. It's actually out of the Bible, and it's not one you normally see on a pallet or a sign or something like that, but it really spoke to me, and I wanted to share this with you all. So here is our pallet sign. And isn't it true? Now, before we finish this project, just in case you would want to hang this, we will quickly put our hanger on it. And you don't have to put a hanger on it, but this just makes it versatile. So if you decide to hang it, you can hang it. And if you decide to set it up on a mantle or windowsill or a bookshelf, you can always do that. This is very lightweight, so we're just using lightweight gauge wire. Give yourself plenty of room. Twist it around several times, but what's nice about wire, it doesn't come undone. And here is our palette project. I hope that you will give one a try. It's very practical, it's fun, it's easy. You can use paint that you have laying around the house. If you want to just hand paint a saying on there for your first try, if you don't have the cutter, you can use stencils that are at the Walmart, craft stores, or even pre-cut sayings that you can buy these days. So just have fun with it, and just, again, don't take it too seriously. Have a lot of fun with it and see what you can come up with.